ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Sheila Gold. I am the Assistant Dean of Admissions for Tulane School of Professional Advancement, and I am joined by my colleague, Ann Conlon, who is in the back making the slides run and making sure that everything runs smoothly. Thank you all for being here. We're going to talk a little bit about the programs, both undergraduate and graduate, that the School of Professional Advancement offers. We'll talk about the PTK scholarships specifically and how it can help you with both undergraduate and graduate programs, as well as we'll talk a little bit about our application process. So this webinar will take us about 25 minutes. If you have questions, you can drop them in the chat, or I will offer you my email address at the end of the webinar, and you can email me after the webinar and I will get back to you. So thank you everybody for coming. A little bit about the School of Professional Advancement and who we are. Tulane University is made up of 10 different schools, one of which is the School of Professional Advancement. The School of Professional Advancement is actually the third school to be founded at the university. The university was started in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana. Shortly thereafter, they started the law school, and then they opened the first iteration of the School of Professional Advancement. The School of Professional Advancement has always had the mission to offer a Tulane education for what we term adult learners or non-traditional learners. And that's everybody other than a student who is the traditional, I just graduated from high school, I'm 18 years old, and I'm starting college. So if you're an adult learner, or if you're a transfer student, or many like you who are starting off your undergraduate career at a 2-year institution and then finishing off at a 4-year institution, the School of Professional Advancement is the place for you. Next slide, please. So a little bit about us. We are located on the main campus in Uptown New Orleans. That building on the top right is the building that houses our administrative offices. Many of our faculty are located in that building, and many of our advisors. We are also showing you a picture of our student lounge where it says "Where You Belong." That's a mural that was created by our digital design students. They made that logo for one of their classes, and we loved it so much that we actually had them paint it on the wall where the students can come and hang out. It's a space that you can drop in between classes or before meeting with an advisor or a faculty member. We've also had cups with that logo made. We often use student work in what we do at the school. And of course, our campus is located on the historic streetcar line, and you can see a picture of the streetcar. And that picture at the top left with the Mardi Gras beads is of the bead tree, which is on our Uptown campus. It's actually right in front of the SoPA offices. Students traditionally will go to Mardi Gras parades, and when they come back on campus, they'll throw some of their beads onto the bead tree. So that's just a little bit of an orientation about our physical campus. All right, so students often ask us, they're like, School of Professional Advancement, what does that mean? Is it a Tulane degree? Absolutely. Like I said, we are one of 10 schools that make up the entire university. And this is what your diploma will look like when you graduate from Tulane. It'll say Tulane University, School of Professional Advancement, your name, and then the degree that you received. And of course, the seal of the university as well. We like to say that there are Tulane programs with Tulane faculty, and you get a Tulane degree. So as we're talking about the programs that we offer for the rest of this webinar, just imagine your name on this diploma right in front of us. It is our pleasure to help our students get their degree. All right, so a little bit, like I said, what we'll be talking about is our programs and our faculty, the learning experience at SoPA, which I think has some unique features to it that I'm excited to share with you, how we support students to be successful, and a little bit about our affordability and flexibility. And we'll talk about that in the PTK scholarships specifically. All right, so a little bit about what make our faculty, I think, a little bit special from other faculty that you may have had exposure to is our faculty are all what we call professors of practice. So that means that they actually are professionals in the field that they teach. So for instance, in our general legal studies program, one of our faculty members is Patricia Betancourt. Patricia is a litigation expert, which means that she's a lawyer. So she teaches our students. She's a lawyer during the day, but she teaches our students at night. And so she brings real world experience into the classroom. All of our faculty do that. Bo Boudreau is one of our writing faculty members, and he is a published poet and also one of our teachers. So when he teaches writing, he knows how to be a professional writer. In our kinesiology program, Tyra Mitchell is the assistant director. Tyra has her doctorate in kinesiology, and she's the former chief of physical therapy at Ochsner, which is one of the two large medical systems here in Louisiana, for those of you who aren't from here. So Tyra brings all of her professional experience to her students in the classroom. Another example is Ralph Russo. Ralph is the director of our cyber and IT programs. Ralph started off his career as an NYPD police officer in New York, and he actually helped NYPD start their cybersecurity unit after 9/11. So he brings all those years of expertise into the classroom. I like this quote, so I'm going to read it to you, even though I know everybody here can read, from Amanda Fennell. She is a professor in our IT program, and she says, as a cybersecurity leader, I feel it's vital to prepare our professionals, which is you all the students, through practical experience, which is why I incorporate my day job into my classes at night. And it's the perfect quote of how you will get taught by professionals who do the work during the day. So that means that when you graduate, you will have the most up-to-date information that employers are looking for upon graduation. All right, so a little bit about our PTK scholarship. So we offer multiple different ways for PTK students to afford a Tulane SoPA degree. So we offer a GAP scholarship at the undergraduate level. That's a $3,000 scholarship. So if you apply for financial aid and you get financial aid, but there's still a little bit of a gap between how much financial aid will cover and how much you owe, we will offer $3,000 to help fill that gap, $1,500 for the fall and the spring semester. On top of that scholarship, we also offer a 20% tuition discount. So you will automatically get 20% tuition discount for both undergraduate and graduate programs right off the top. Then for undergraduates, you will get an additional $3,000 GAP scholarship to fill in the gap if financial aid leaves any gap. Next, please. So what are the bachelor's degrees and master's degrees that we offer? The bachelor's degrees are in Black. We offer our large areas of study are business and leadership, general legal studies, kinesiology, media and design, emergency and security, humanities and social sciences, and IT. Underneath those in Black ink are all of the bachelor's degrees that we offer. Human resources, organizational behavior and management, which is just a fancy name for business studies, homeland security studies, general legal studies, humanities, social sciences, IT, exercise science, health and wellness, and then digital design, which is who made the big logo that is in our student lounge, digital media and marketing communications, and public relations. So those are the degrees that we offer the scholarships to. We also have professional certificates, but the scholarship does not apply to the certificates, but those are in light blue and green. If anybody's interested about those, feel free to email me afterwards and I can talk to you about those certificates. Okay, our master's degree, one of the things that makes Tulane SoPA a little bit different from any of the other schools out there offering PTK scholarships is that we also have the 20% tuition discount apply to master's degrees. So keep that in mind. If you're interested in continuing past your bachelor's into your master's, our scholarship will apply to those. So the master's degrees we offer are cybersecurity, emergency management, homeland security, IT management, sports studies, liberal arts. We have a master's of public administration, a master's of art in teaching, which is a master's degree for people who want to be classroom teachers. And then we have a master's of education in 4 different concentration areas, MED in equity-centered education leadership, an MED in learning experience design, an MED in special education, or an MED in teaching English learners. MEDs are generally for students who want to be in administration, in school administration. So if you're interested in classroom teaching, the MAT. If you're interested in being like a dean or a principal, that kind of thing, you would be looking at the MED. All right, a little bit something to understand about our graduate programs. We also offer graduate certificates, and our graduate certificates are stackable into our master's degrees. So if you're like, I'm not sure if I want to go back for a whole master's, I may just want to start with a certificate. The certificates are usually 4 classes or so. If you get the certificate, you can stop there. Or if you want to continue to the full master's, all those courses from the certificates will add up towards your master's. You'll only have to take about 6 or 8 more classes to get your master's. And of course, the master's, you can apply the 20% tuition discount. Okay, so these are our graduate certificates. So I'm not going to read all of them, but we have graduate certificates in all the areas that we offer master's programs. Pre-K-12 education, public administration, kinesiology, IT, and emergency and security. All right, so a little bit about the learning experience at SoPA. So all of our master's degrees are entirely online. Our bachelor's degrees you can take either on ground or online or a combination. If you're interested in doing entirely online, you can do that as well. We do feel like our learning experience at SoPA is a little bit different than other online experiences that you may have had. So most of our courses, you will have a synchronous component, meaning that you will have to attend a class. It would be in a similar format to what we're doing right now, although it's through our learning system Canvas. Not every day. There just may be a handful of times that you need to attend class. But it does give you the opportunity to interact with your classmates, to interact with your professor, to get to create some relationships. We also offer students the opportunity to do small group work. So it is interactive. You're not just like reading discussion posts and then, replying or writing papers. There is an interactive component and there is the ability to meet other classmates, create a sense of community, and also get to know your professors. So we also have a lot of interactive activities for students. So it's not just reading and writing and turning in papers and, little discussion posts. We have on this slide, the top slide with the blimp in the boat. That is an example of some of our professors have actually created interactive simulations of problems that students need to solve. So you'll actually be in the metaverse entering into a simulated scenario where you have to work your way through it and problem solve and turn in your solution as your final project. So it's a very different way of interacting with curriculum that's much more like hands-on and creative. It's not as much written, and students tend to like those kinds of opportunities. Another way that we try to keep the curriculum a little different is the woman in the bottom picture is listening to her phone. Many of our professors have actually uploaded some of their lectures as podcasts. So instead of having to read, week after week, you might have a session or two that's actually on a podcast. So you can listen to 15 minutes on the way to work, 15 minutes coming back to work, another 20 minutes while you're cooking dinner. For those of you who are auditory learners, you like to hear information as opposed to read it. They tend to really like the podcast sessions. So it's a different way to sort of break things up. So we try to create a very different learning experience for students than they're used to at other schools. All right. So here is a quote from one of our students about the student support that we offer. My professors at Tulane were genuinely invested in my success. Smaller classes allowed me to build connections with the coolest and most creative people who are always willing to help. And our class sizes are generally pretty small. You're not going to be in a class of like 250 people. Generally, our classes are somewhere between 12 and 20 students, generally closer towards the 12 to 15. You really have a lot of access to your professors and to other students, and your professors get to know you, which is helpful when it comes time to graduating and looking for a job. A little bit about the kind of support that we offer our students. Our students have two different kinds of advisors. They have an academic advisor and then they have a faculty advisor. Your academic advisor is who you talk to about what classes you take and how many classes you should take each semester. If you're struggling and need some support, your academic advisor is a good place to start. If you need to take a semester off for any reason, you go and you talk to your academic advisor and let them know when you're planning on coming back. You will also have a faculty advisor, which is an actual faculty member. Keep in mind, like I said, all of our faculty members actually do what they teach. So you will have somebody who's actually in the field that you want to go and work in as an advisor, and you can talk to them about job opportunities. If there's a class that you're taking that you really, really like, and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I'd like this class so much. How could I do this as a profession? They can help you navigate that. They can hook you up with professional contacts who might help you after graduation. So you'll have two kinds of advisors, as well as our school has its own career advisor. We do not share her with any other part of the university. So she's just for SoPA students. And she can help you with your LinkedIn, with your transcripts. She can help you do mock job interviews if you need to practice. She can help you research a company if there's a job interview that you have and you're like, I don't know much about these people. She can help you do that. We also have lots of corporations throughout the United States that like our students. And oftentimes they will send job postings to our career advisor before the job postings go live on like an Indeed or a Monster. And so she will push that out to students about once a week. And so our students oftentimes have the opportunity to apply for a job, 24 or 48 hours before sort of the rest of the universe knows about the job posting. All right, so here's a little bit of a graphic to help you understand how the PTK scholarship can help you save money. Okay, so the top row of boxes is for undergraduates, the bottom is for graduates. So let's assume that you have gotten your first 60 credits or all of your first 2 years at another institution before you come to Tulane. If you transfer all 60 credits to Tulane, that's a savings of about $36,000. Then we start subtracting more savings. So if you register for classes by an early enrollment date that we offer all students, you can save $200 off your first semester. If you transfer 60 credits, you also qualify for our transfer scholarship, which is $1,500 off. And now you're down to about $34,000. Then when you add the 20% discount on top of that, which is close to $7,000, you can get your total undergraduate degree from Tulane SoPA for about $27,000 or $28,000. We cap our fees each semester at a very low price point. I don't know exactly the price, but it's somewhere around like $150 a semester. So your fees should not be over like $150. Look at that at other schools. Lots of universities will give you their tuition rate, but if you don't ask about their fees, you might be surprised to learn that when you add the fees on, it can almost double the tuition rate. We go out of our way not to do that. So you pretty much pay just the tuition. For those of you who are interested in our graduate programs, our graduate programs are about 33 credits, which is about $38,000 for the graduate degree. Once you start deducting the early enrollment scholarship of $500, it gets you down a little bit. And then when you put the 20% tuition discount, you can get an entire master's degree for about $30,000, which is really competitive pricing in this sort of market for graduate programs. So that's how, if you stack all the different discounts, we make a Tulane SoPA degree affordable. A little bit more information. Next slide, please. Another way that we try to offer savings to students is that we offer a program called Credit for Prior Learning. And what this means is that oftentimes students will come to us having worked in the workforce or having some sort of life experience, whether it be in the military or as a first responder, EMT, maybe classroom teacher, whatever it might be. And if you come to our program and there is a class that you have to take and you already have professionally worked in that area and have all the knowledge of a certain class, you can go to your advisor and say, I don't think I need to take this class. So for instance, a lot of students in our general legal studies program will take advantage of this. They might have been doing legal writing as not quite a paralegal, but working in a law firm for many years. And they're like, I don't need to take a legal writing class. I know how to do that. If you can work with your advisor to prove that you know all of the objectives that are on the syllabus for that class, you can get credit for that class. So at the undergraduate level, you could do that for up to 24 credits. So that is up to 8 classes. And at the graduate level, you could do it for 2 classes. At the undergraduate level, if you do that for all the 6 classes or 8 classes, I guess, that are available to you for credit for prior learning, you can save up to almost another $15,000. So keep an eye on that syllabus. And if you feel like you already know that information, you can take advantage of this program. All right. All of our students generally apply for financial aid. We encourage our students to do that. It requires the FAFSA form, which is the federal form for financial aid. I encourage all students to fill out that form as soon as they start applying for admission. The FAFSA has multiple components to it, and it can take a little while to fill out. So don't wait to do that. Go ahead and get your FAFSA filled out, submit that to our financial aid office. And once again, at the undergraduate level, if there's a gap between how much financial aid you're awarded and how much tuition you owe, we do offer that $3,000 to help fill the gap. A reminder that some of the other scholarships we offer are the $1,500 transfer scholarship that gets awarded to anybody who transfers credits from another school. We have these early enrollment scholarships of either $500 for graduate students or $200 for undergraduates. The 3,000 PTK gap scholarship. And our tuition for this summer, the term that we're enrolling for right now, the summer term, is $498 per credit, and all of our classes are 3 credit hours. And the graduate tuition is $968 per credit for 3 credits for every class. All right. A little bit about our application process. So our application is an online application. It lives on our website. So you go to our website, sopa.tulane.edu. There's a big button at the top that says apply. You click that button. For those of you who are interested in getting your bachelor's degree, you will choose the undergraduate application. For those of you interested in your master's, you will pick the graduate application. Our applications do have an application fee associated with them, $40 for the undergraduate and $50 for graduate. Although, as a thank you for attending the webinar, we will waive that fee for you. For those of you who have already applied and paid that fee, please email me tomorrow. I will give you my email address at the end of this webinar, and I will return that fee. I will refund it to you. Because we really do say, and we know it's at the end of a long day and you all have come here spending half an hour of your time. We are happy to refund that fee for you. So don't be shy about that. The other things that we're going to need are a copy of a government issued ID. So for most people, you simply take a picture of your driver's license on your phone and upload it to the application. We'll need transcripts from any school that you've received college credit from. And then for those of you who are applying to graduate programs, there will be a written statement. There are 2 questions that you'll need to answer for the graduate programs, and we will also ask for a copy of your resume. All right, our final bit of information is we have 3 starts a year for students who are interested in starting. We are currently accepting applications for our summer term. That application deadline is May 1, which is coming soon, but you still have time to apply to get your application in by May 1. Our early enrollment deadline for summer has passed, but that was April 25th. Our next semester that we're enrolling for is the fall, and that application is open. So if you're interested in starting in the fall, you can apply right now. That deadline is August 1st with an early enrollment scholarship deadline of July 15th. So the way that works is our application is open now for fall. You do not have to wait until the deadline. We're rolling admissions. So you can get your application for fall in right now. We will review that application and get you a response. If you are admitted and you register for classes by July 15th, you'll get a $200 scholarship if you're undergraduate and a $500 if you're a graduate student. And then our next deadline is for spring semester, which is our January semester. That deadline is January 1, but once again, you can apply now. And if you are admitted and register by December 1st, you'll receive the early enrollment scholarship. That's just automatically deducted from your first semester's tuition. All right, so that is really all of the content of our webinar. We appreciate you all being here. My email is sgold@tulane.edu. Please email me if you have any questions. I will answer your email within 24 hours, sometimes sooner. There is a phone number on this slide. I'm never at my phone. I'm always in front of my email, but I'm never at my phone. So definitely email me, sgold@tulane.edu. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about our programs or our application process. And once again, for those of you who have already applied and paid your application fee, please email me tomorrow and I will refund that fee to you. So I think with that, I appreciate everybody being here tonight. And I look forward to receiving emails from you all and hearing any questions that you might have. So thank you, everybody, for being with us. And I hope to welcome you all as students to Tulane very soon. Thank you, everybody.